process. Hi there, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to take you through the construction process as well as show you the total quantity of material as well as its cost to bring this 6-bedroom duplex from the DPC to the decking level. Stay tuned as we take you through the process. So, we started working this site after the DPC had been completed. And of course, our work here starts with setting out of the block work from the DPC level, which involves painstakingly marking out the spaces as they are on drawing, bringing out all the internal and external walls to ensure that everything is as is in drawing. Now have a look at the spaces on the ground floor. So this is the main lounge here and the dining area from where you access the prayer room or the library reading room, shall I just call it. Then here is the kitchen. Right, and of course the kitchen store, which is called the pantry. Then here is the first room on the ground floor. And of course the convenience, the next convenience for the next room. Here, the staircase area. Under the staircase is the inverter room. You want to terminate the joint? Yes, please do, by all means. Put it towards the end. Then this is the visitor WC. And of course, we are back to the main lounge. That is what we got here, and now the work commences. So normally, after we have marked out all the internal spaces and external spaces, and of course the access, which is in form of doors, the next thing that happens is to start laying the block one course after another until we get to the window level. At the window sill level, we now mark out the windows, and then work continues until we get to the lintel level. Different projects have different heights for their window starting course. For this particular project, we had 3 courses of blocks at the back, which translated to 4 courses of block at the front of the building. And that is because of the sloping nature of the land, the building was stepped down 1 step before the front of the building. So that is what we have here going on. So at this point, all the blocks, almost all, had gotten to the lintel level, and the iron bender has already started the iron reinforcement job, which includes raising all the columns as well as linking them with the lintel. And this is the work that is ongoing right here, after which the carpentry work as well as the casting of the lintel begins. So that is what we are doing here. And normally this process, block laying is more or less the fastest work activity in a building construction site. So normally after the second or third day of work, you'll see that everything had gotten to lintel level. Once it's set out, before you know it, blocks have climbed and everything is set. So that's exactly what happened here, and every work is taking shape. So at this point, the carpentry work had started, and this also activated the casting of the lintels. That's the concrete work. Now, this process is what we do. As soon as the carpentry work starts, then the casting also follows suit to enable us do the leveling of the building section by section. And in most cases, what we do is, as soon as the first day of casting is done, from the second day, leveling starts. And this is to help us to achieve the project at the stated date of completion. Now the lintel has been cast, and the next thing is to, what we call leveling of blocks. And this is a process where we lay 3 courses of block just before the decking. And this process enables us to balance the building before the decking comes in. So by the time the leveling was completed and the building was ready for the decking, it was observed that this following material had been used: 35 lengths of 16 mm rods, 65 lengths of 12 mm rods, 30 lengths of 8 mm rods, 3,009 inches blocks, 1 roll of binding wire, 100 bags of cement, 100 lengths of 100 pieces of 1 by 12 by 12. Then the sand that was used was 2 trips of the 7 tons sand, then 15 tons of chippings. That's the granite. Then of course there were electrical and the plumbing materials for that stage of work. In total, the cost of all the materials mentioned here that were used to bring this project from the DPC to the decking level was 6,610,000 naira. Whereas the total cost of the labor, which includes the block laying, the carpentry work, the iron bending work, the electrical work, the plumbing work, and the casting work, as well as the engineer fees in this case, to bring this project from the DPC. Now, someone asked a question in the last video what DPC was. DPC is what we normally call the German floor. So once the work comes up from foundation and they lay the block to that level, then we fill it with sand. Then the casting that we do is what we normally call that block, the damp proof course. That is what DPC stands for, damp proof course. So when you get to that course, you lay your damp proof membrane, which is the DPM, before you cast a layer of concrete that serves like the floor of the house. So that is what DPC is. So the labor it took to get this work from the DPC to the decking level in this case was 1,650,000 naira. In all, the total cost of both the material and the labor to bring this 6-bedroom duplex from the DPC, that's the damp proof course, to the decking level just before the decking is 8,260,000 naira. Thank you for being with us this far, and see you in our next one.